What's good, everybody? This is Steven back with my tea of the day. This is season 2, episode 15. Like, thank y'all for rocking with me for so long. Like, I'm at almost 7,000 plays so far. And that's amazing. Thank y'all for really listening. Thank y'all for supporting. Thank y'all for telling a friend and listening all over the world. Like, it is amazing to know that my podcast is reaching people. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Like, it's unbelievable. And really just thank y'all for letting me have a voice and talk my shit and really help me get out of my comfort zone. Because I started this to become more of an extrovert, little. But I'm always going to have introvert in me, but at least be able to really talk to people and just not be afraid to just talk, if you know what I mean. So, let's get into some current events, like what's been happening in the social media and the celebrity world. First topic I definitely want to dive into, let's get into The Real. So, as you know, The Real is having some drama. Again, I haven't watched the show, to be honest, in a few years. I'm gonna say about a good 2 years. Like, I might see clips here and there, but like actively watching it, yeah, I'm gonna say like 3 years for now. And for me, like, they lost me because I felt like, as much as I did not like Tamar on the show, I felt like she was needed on the show to have more of an unbiased opinion, to really make it like not so corporate America type talk show. And I felt like after she left, it became that. And I just didn't like the shadiness behind Tamar getting fired. Whether it was her fault or their fault or all of their faults, I definitely believe, like, I want to say I don't believe that Lonnie got her fired. However, I do believe that they knew before she got fired. Whether they had a hand in it, I don't know. And it is what it is. So, I also stopped kind of watching it because after Tamara left, that was it. Because I was only watched the show for Tamara, to be honest with you. Because that's the Fresh Face I knew, sister, Tia and Tamara, like, how could you not? So I watched The Real because of her. And then I fell in love with the other ladies as time went on. But then I definitely noticed how kind of fake and unreal they was being. Like, I felt like at a point of time they was friends. Granted, they did birthday parties, they did holidays together, they did a lot of stuff together. And then getting to know each other's phase and the bringing the show up phase, like, I'm quite sure that happened. On screen and off the screen. But then it was just like a switch. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Adrian said recently in an interview that they were co-workers. And this is even before the drama of what happened. So, if one person is saying that, well, how are you getting mad when another person says it? That's what I'm just confused with. So if you haven't noticed or don't know, Gina just got married to young Jeezy. And they had a COVID, quote-unquote, safe wedding. And the ladies of The Real were not invited to this COVID-safe wedding because they both wanted to just have people who they both knew as a couple. And who she knew and who he knew had to know both of them together, basically. So a lot of people were cut out of that ordeal because I guess the ladies of The Real didn't really take time to get to know Jeezy and vice versa. Like, they probably talked here and there, but it wasn't like an instant connection where you really cared to get to know Jeezy or whatever that case is. So with saying that, then someone made a tweet or a statement on how Jeezy's been mistreated and we see that and we don't like it, and you've been, brushing side stuff off and XYZ, and supposedly Jeezy liked that comment. Do I believe Jeezy liked it? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I do feel like there are times that they were harder on Jeannie. I guess one, because she's been in the industry longer than a lot of them, in terms of like media and in terms of fashion and stuff like that. So she brought a lot to the table. I don't think they utilized her enough to bring all that she knew to the table, in my opinion. And so basically, Jeannie came out with like, well, she didn't fully say, but it made it seem like they're just co-workers at this point. And with knowing that, it's like, I already felt like the rail was going to end. I just didn't know when. But it seemed like it's going to be ending soon. Because how could we really just sit here and act like there's not tension? And then they're not going to discuss on national TV what's going on with the logistics is behind the scenes or how they really feel. But if cast members are saying that they're just friends, something happened, there was a hiccup, and I don't know if the hiccup was when Tamara left. Because Tamara, in my opinion, was the glue for the show. She was the most real and authentic part of the show. You might not have always liked what she said, or how she said it, or that, the interracial thing, or whatever your issue could have been with Tamara, but she was the realest on the show. And without her, the real left. And they tried to make it even more real, more pro-black, because they were trying to do that now. And Amanda was too black for the show. And you can't water that down, because she's black till she dies. And you can't water that down at all. So, I hope that the show ends on a good note, per se, if that's even possible. To the next one. Let's get into Miss Wendy getting dragged by not one reality star, but two. So Miss Wendy Williams, unfortunately, was caught in a crossfire with Miss Jocelyn Hernandez, who had motherfucking time that day, and Miss Erica Mena. So, with Jocelyn, it was an interview, an online, Zoom interview type of thing, and Miss Jocelyn was not here for anything Miss Wendy had to say. So, Jocelyn just came out swinging. Like, she was playing no games, like she wanted to read Wendy fulfilled. And Wendy became over it as she should have. Because there was a time and a place, and that was not the time and place, and that wasn't the way you should have handled it. Because, yes, Wendy said some fucked up shit. We already know that. But that's her job. Her job is not to empower women. Her job is to tear them down. In a nice way, when she wants to. If she likes you, it's a nice way. If she does not like you, she's dragging you for filth. And we know this about Wendy. Like, this is just who she is. That's her character, and that's her job. So at the end of the day, like, you came in swinging without even asking, okay, so why did you say this? Why did you say that? You just want people to give you your flowers. And here's this thing. You haven't done enough for you to get flowers. Yes, you have your own show, but you made it seem like you was pulling big numbers. Yes, you're on an all-black network. And we'll get to that all-black network soon. But you're not pulling up numbers like that. And your show is very Love and Hip Hop-esque. Like, you're supposed to be helping these girls get out of the club or make money. I don't even know the premise of the show. I'm kind of confused. But you have women coming there on the show who just had 2 abortions. Other people making fun of it, saying double homicide. Like, I cannot. It's the ghetto. And I'm just confused. So I'm confused what flowers you want, because it's not like you do music like that. And when you try to put out music, we see where it does not go. So, and you haven't done enough reality TV to be named like a New York or a Tammy Roman. You'll get there soon, absolutely. You put in a lot of work to become like a villain aspect of reality TV, like someone that we have to watch. We hate watching, but we have to watch because we don't know what the fuck to expect from you, which is great. But that's it. So I don't know what you exactly wanted from Wendy, but I don't think that was like the right direction. Especially since you're not getting that many interviews, you really probably fucked up your only interview, your only place to be interviewed at this point. Because quite as a camp, Wendy's not going to offer that invitation again to you. She's not. So just know that. You fucked up your chances. And that's it. And the second person she got dragged by was Miss Erica Mena. Miss first reality TV, Love and Hip Hop star, New York. And Wendy was talking about, okay, so, Erica Mena decided to, her and Safari decided to let us know that, they're expecting baby number 2. And she pretty much said, like, okay, so who pays attention to them? That's not, it can be considered shade, but who pays attention to them? And wasn't so about to get a divorce, because that's what y'all put out. So she wasn't trying to be shady. She was saying what it is, saying what's already out there. Like, y'all said you was gonna get a divorce, and now y'all popping up on our screen, and you about to give birth. Make it make sense. Like, if y'all don't want us to criticize or look at y'all for anybody saying that y'all about to have a kid, then don't put that out there when your marriage is on the box. And that's the truth. But Erica Mena decided to make it seem like, oh, she's minding my business and come over here so I can beat your ass, because clearly your baby father didn't do a good enough job. And domestic violence is never something to joke about, never something to toy about, never something to whip or pistol whip or belittle someone over who's dealt with that. Because that's terrifying. Like, you're re-victimizing them all over again. That's not cool. And I'm not surprised that Erica Mena said that, because Erica Mena is who she is. She's always been a firecracker. She's always been about the mouth. She's always been about the action. She's just always talked. And in this case, that's a problem. In this case, like, you would never be able to interview on her show either. And I'm sorry, like, Wendy has guests. Like, Wendy has lots of guests. And she helped a lot of you girls who's on Love and Hip Hop find a spot to be interviewed at. Because no one else is interviewing you, because they can't get the security or the people to want to deal with you. So by you re-victimizing her, bringing that up, and then for you to have been victimized as well, doesn't make sense. How will you say you'll beat her ass when you dealt with domestic violence firsthand from your first baby father? Make it make sense. Because at this point, it's just coonery. Like, I can't. Make it make sense. So, I was on the tip with the ghetto-ness of Jocelyn's show, right? So let's get into Zeus, the network itself. Zeus is a black-owned network and carries, Jocelyn's cabaret, and then it's supposed to host Baddies Atlanta. So this is like some of the girls from the Bad Girls Club, and they're creating their own show residing in Atlanta. So like some of the baddest girls off the Bad Girls Club. So Tanisha, Natalie, and some other girls. I don't know. And I'm confused how this is a black network doing this to black people. So now we can't even blame the network, making it seem like they're throwing dollars in front of our face for us to act fucking fools. We doing it on our own. We doing it for fucking free. Because the fucking people that I've seen with, I was fucking disgusted. Like, telling people to square up, we just fighting just to fight for what? So, this is like, this is VH1 all over again. Like, VH1 was criticized heavily for the content that they put out. And yes, it's great TV. Yes, you'll be drawn into it. Yes, you might not like women fighting, but it's just something about it that just draws you to that. It's like guilty pleasure. It's something that you shouldn't be watching, but you can't stop watching, kind of thing. And it's sad that we're still depicted that way, and we're depicting ourselves in that light. We gotta do better. We have to have some type of positivity. We have to do better. Last current event. I want to congratulate my babies, June's Diary, for coming out with the newest single, Maniac. And when I say it is a motherfucking hit, it is a hit. Like, every song that they put out have been good, but this tops it on a whole nother motherfucking level. And just the way that they sung, the way that Gabby and Crystal rapped, it was just food for my soul. I'm happy that Crystal produced the song. And every girl in the group is going to produce a song. So we got 4 more songs coming up. Hopefully before the album drops. Hopefully we're going to get our first album from June's Diary. My thing is, I need more from you. I love you. I love everything that you do. I love everything that you're putting out. But if you're putting up single projects, solo projects, or projects with your husband or XYZ, you have time to put out projects with the group. Like, yes, it's COVID, but I'm sorry. If y'all really want this to work, y'all gonna have to find time. You're gonna have to really put in the work and do covers and do this and like be visible on social media. Like, yeah, like the side gigs is probably helping put in more funding for the group, which is great. But the group needs to be the main focus. Because once we start hearing other people's voices before we even get a first album, we're not going to want it. And that's just honest God truth. And we want it. We're rooting for you because we know that y'all are beyond talented. And we're just upset and we're just disturbed how they're not giving you the fucking light of day. Thank you, Escape, for saying the name of one of the groups to look out for and basically naming them with the greatest groups that ever happened for females. Thank you for doing that last night. That was amazing. However, I need more consistency. We need a project. Like, y'all been out since what? I want to say 2017, 2018. And it's 2021. And you haven't had a project. You haven't had an album. You had projects. But you have not had an album yet. I'm just trying to figure out why. Like, we need an album. But let's continue to support them. Let's continue to wait. Because I already feel like it's going to be beyond what we've ever expected them to do. So I'm here for the ride, boo boo. Like, I'm a June bug for life. And I'm here for it. I also want to thank the Barbs for giving Nikki another #1 on iTunes. Thank y'all for doing that streaming party for LLC. We made motherfucking history. We broke some motherfucking records on her off year while she's taking care of Papa. Like, minding her business, working, because she's working. Let's be clear. She's about to come back out with this fire. And y'all not gonna know what the fuck to do. And she's gonna gather her sons to fuck up. Because it's cute that girls is using her fucking line, but don't got no motherfucking sons. Like, go sit somewhere and continue to be a carbon copy. Continue to be less than. And I'm sorry, but the industry is what the industry is without Nikki. Like, Nikki gave us that versus 17. Nikki gave us her bars and her lyrics. And I'm happy that we have people like Bobby Foster and others deciphering her bars for us, telling us the meaning. Because a lot of us just hear it like, oh, okay, that was simple. No, boo boo. Like, she just gave us a double, triple, quadruple, meaning to that. Like, her metaphors, her sport metaphors always goes over people's heads. Her punchlines have flow. It's immaculate. Like, those fucking wordplays is just, come on. But she's the bad guy. I'm going to give everyone else stuff that was supposed to be given to Nikki, but Nikki's solidified, and it's okay. But I'm happy that she's about to come back out with this fire. And I just can't wait for this docu-series. Hopefully we get more episodes, and hopefully it's just as heartfelt as I know it's going to be. And I just need this era to be just perfect. Last but not least, I've been seeing stuff in the news about Miss Chloe Bailey. And how, I guess from her ex, and how she's not really sexy, and how she doesn't put out, and XYZ. Like, first of all, you're being motherfucking catty. For what reason? Because she moved on and you're not with her because you cheated on her? She didn't want to put out because you cheated on her. She didn't want to put out because you was a fast ass. And you were saying your dick from north to west. So, calm it down. Secondly, I'm happy that they have two separate Instagram accounts. I'm happy that we're getting to know them as two separate entities. What I'm not happy about is new music coming out solely. I'm not ready for that, and I don't want that. Because once that happens, then you're going to separate them. And I don't know if the sisters themselves can handle it. And not for nothing, putting the pressure on her being the next fiance is a lot of pressure. Yes, absolutely, she would probably be the best pick to be the next anyone or to be herself. Because she is extremely talented. But I feel like what her and Hallie has together is magical. And there's nothing that can defeat that. There's nothing that can make her bigger than the group. Because Hallie's just as important as Chloe. Hallie is just as needed in the music industry as Chloe. And they are needed together as a duo. Not solely. I don't see solo artists from them. Yes, they can give us solo projects if that time needs to happen. But it's only been 2 albums. And they're not gonna break up. I refuse to put that into the atmosphere. And I refuse for y'all to put that into the atmosphere. Yes, we love Chloe just like I love Chloe just like everyone else does. However, I don't need them to be broken up. I don't need it, and I won't tolerate it. And I don't feel like her being sexy or her really living in her body and really loving her body now is a ploy or something that she's just using to be more marketable. I feel like she's growing up as a grown-ass woman. Like, she's in her early 20s, and usually that's what females and males do. We are obsessed with our bodies. We love how our bodies is growing into a toe and everything like that. And I think that was it for current events. And I guess last but not least, of course, understand that not every trans woman is the same. I say that to say this. There are trans women who are okay with you misgendering them, by you calling them a man, by you saying he and him. Those are a select few who I don't personally understand, because in my opinion you're pushing every trans woman back a million years by you doing that. Whether it's because you don't want to fight with them, or because you don't want to have to continuously correct people, or because you just don't give a fuck, or because you don't really feel like you're trans and you feel like you're just a man in a dress, and that's not the case. Without you, example, claim a role. Example, Caitlyn Jenner. These are women who are allowing people to misgender them, who are putting into the atmosphere that it is okay that I am a man, that you call me a man. It's okay that you call me a him. It is okay. I can, it's okay. But that's not politically correct. That may be your truth, or maybe that's how you live, but by you doing that, that's setting every other trans woman back. And I hope you understand that. And Caitlyn is running for, governor now? And she put out a statement saying how trans women should not play in sports because it is an unfair advantage. But when you're not trans, when you play in sports, you might not have fully transitioned, you might not have fully lived into your womanhood, but at the end of the day, you transition when you transition because you succeeded in the Olympics, you succeeded in sports as Bruce, and you're being recognized as Bruce. You got Woman of the Year because of who Bruce was, not because of who Caitlyn is. So let's be clear, crystal clear about that. So when you make statements like that, and by you being a Republican, by you being anti-trans, how does that work? You're trans, but you're against trans. I don't get it. But thank you for listening to Keep Me With the C's channel. This was Season 2, Episode 15. Thank you for listening. Laters.